17h30.
So it's 5:30. We're going to start the meeting. I have a couple of presentations this evening, and then there'll be another meeting on the other side. So the first presentation is the Seniors Committee of the City of Dieppe, who are going to present their action plan. So we have Monsieur Leblanc here. So without further ado, you have the floor. Deputy Mayor, councillors, good evening. My name is Francis Leblanc, and I'm one of the members of the Seniors Committee of Dieppe, and I'll be one of the co-presenters this evening. I'm Carmen Renaud, and I'm part of the committee of the seniors for Dieppe. So the plan for our presentation tonight is we're going to do the introduction, and there'll be an action plan, the projects that were completed in 2014-2015, an overview of 2016, and conclusion. And then we'll answer questions. So it's to tell you that the committee exists since 2011. Many people are not aware that we do exist, but we are here. We act as an advisory committee for culture, services, leisure, and community life. We have an action plan, a 5-year action plan from 2012 to 2017. We use it as a guide in the committee to ensure the well-being of the seniors of the Dieppe. So we've established a couple of projects, and we follow our plan to complete our project. The city of Dieppe is the first city, New-Brunswick, to be part of MADA, which is the municipality's Friends of Seniors. There are now approximately 10 communities who have followed through after Dieppe. Our action plan, we divided it in 3 priorities. First of all, leisure. That's important for seniors to have leisure. Visibility, so that the committee become more visible, and then general services. So the projects completed in 2014-2015 in the category leisure, let's say that we've had an increased use of a Rotary Park for all the social and physical activities for seniors who live in the city of Dieppe. We've also had lunches, spring lunches, were a success. We had our first one in April 2014. There were approximately 140 participants. We had a second one in spring to 2015. There were approximately 80 people. That day, the weather was not really helpful. The third we held in the fall of 2015. Once again, we had approximately 120 people participate. Now, under the visibility theme, there's a recognition of Volunteer Member of the Year during the National Volunteer Week. We chose a person recognized for their work with the committee. We also have consultations between the members and the CLVC for the announcement of activities that take place in the community, either through Facebook or websites or Dieppe Mag. So basically we have 3 methods to communicate to people about our activities. If need be, we buy ad space in the papers or on the radio for the promotion of certain activities. There's also a committee, as a committee, we also work on recruitment. Right now, we have 9 people who are part of the committee, and Mr. Jean-Claude Cormier is the present chair. Under the theme General Services, we had a presentation on public transport and the transport program for people with reduced mobility of the municipality. And actually, when we had the presentation, I have to say that every Wednesday, the seniors of the city of Dieppe can use the public transport free. There was also a meeting with the fire services concerning a list of seniors during disasters or emergency situations. This list, we're told, will be operational at the end of January, this January. Thirdly, we have organized with the fire services a session for the use of the defibrillator and for first aid, basically focusing on seniors. We had to actually cancel this meeting because we didn't have any people registered. Normand Gionnet, who is the chair of the regional committee Dieppe-Moncton of the Association of Francophone Seniors of New-Brunswick, the AFANB, he's joined our committee this year. We also have, sitting on the committee, a representative of the Red Cross. So as you can see, we have people from different environments who sit on the committee. As far as other completed projects, 2014-2015, there was an update of an action plan for 2015, 2016, 2017. This plan was set up by Professor Marc Leblanc from the University of Moncton. He is also a citizen of our municipality. We've had a discussion on the Carrefour 50, Crossroads 50 plus. Our committee is represented and sits on the provincial committee of MADA, Friends of Seniors. We also had a project with the students of the University of Moncton to develop a list of activities for our seniors in the municipality. And lately, we have community gardens at the Rotary Park and at the Aquatic Center, which are very popular. There's actually a waiting list of people who want to have maybe, many of our citizens would like to have more room for these community gardens. So it's an interesting concept, and it's well used by our citizens. Now, an overview for the fall in 2016 and 2016. We want to invite the people who take care of the seniors to discuss their needs in a multifunctional center and to share the results with the representatives of the municipality. So we would go see all the groups who take care of seniors to participate in this type of discussion. We want to continue also to organize activities during the International Day of Seniors, because it's important to recognize this day. We want to organize a public consultation in order to have the needs of seniors, the needs better known in leisure, transport, municipal services. So basically we do the first and the third group at the same time. So it's for different groups and for the seniors. So we would hold these consultations at the same time, probably in March, upcoming March. And also we'd like to continue the discussions with Crossroads 50 Plus to identify possible collaborations. We also want to continue to use the Rotary Park as a temporary center of activities for seniors while we wait for a permanent one. We know that we feel that if we had downtown centers, we'd have more seniors participating because it would be easier to get there. We want to encourage organizations like Kodiak Transpo and the transportation businesses to offer reduced rates for seniors. Now we know that for Wednesday it's reduced rates, but we'd like to discuss the possibility of having reduced rates during the whole week so that seniors could use public transport more often. To have an annual consultation with the CLVC and the committee to establish programming of activities for seniors if we're always working with the municipality, and our committee really has very good links with the municipality. Another thing we want to do is to continue to assess the satisfaction of the participants at our activities, and we actually share these results with the CLVC. We want to promote activities and the promotion of activities and organizations who serve the seniors through different communication means. We want to identify and plan a consultative table for organizations who work with seniors. It would be a consultation with all the different groups who give services to seniors, and we would meet once a year. One of our important projects for 2016 is to have take stock of all the groups of interest for seniors, and we want to start this in winter and spring 2016. So we've started already. So it's a list of group of interests, and then we'll want to find out if there are some already existing, some groups. We'd like to find them out and make links between those and the seniors. We're going to have discussions also with the committees of persons with reduced mobility. Our population is aging, so we would like to take steps to make things easier for them. We would like to meet also people responsible for the volunteers of the CLVC in order to recognize the volunteers, senior volunteers in the city of Dieppe, because very often we hear that seniors are expensive, but we want to find out, therefore, how many hours the seniors put in as volunteers. We want to also meet the services, the communication services, in order to discuss different ways to promote activities. Often, because of lack of advertising, people are not informed of the activities that we have, and if we could work something like that, we'd have more participation. Based on the determinants of health, the committee recognizes that the recreational activities, sports activities, and social activities improve the general health of seniors. So we want to increase activities in order to reach as many seniors of the city of Dieppe as possible. Now we want to talk about our vision. As you know, we are limited in what we can offer to seniors of Dieppe due to a lack of space. So, maybe to find a solution to this problem, a multifunctional center with a space reserved specifically for seniors might be the solution. Examples of activities that could be good in certain multifunctional rooms. We could have meetings of committees, we'd have classes of computers, reading clubs, sewing, physical exercise, interest groups, social games. The possibilities are limitless. So our needs, multifunctional rooms with movable walls, kitchen, walking space, meeting places to socialize, recreational equipment, sports equipment. And in order to be inclusive, the committee is thinking of free access to the facilities and reduced rates for activities. So as a conclusion, I would like to thank you for having given us the opportunity to talk to you about our projects, our desires, with the objective of the well-being of the seniors of the city of Dieppe. So, and thank you also for lending us Gabrielle Maillet, community agent, so that she was able to help us, and she continued to help us to complete our projects. Thank you. Are there any questions? Madame Dallaire. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I have a couple of questions. First, I know that you have 9 members on the committee. You talked about Mr. Cormier. I know that there's you two. There's the Red Cross and the Francophone Association of Seniors. But could you name us the other members of the committee so that we could recognize them publicly for their contribution? Our representative from the Red Cross is just retired and she decided to stay with us. Rosemary Giroir, who's in Florida because when we're the seniors committee, well, some of them leave us for winter. Joanne also has left and gone to Florida. Normand is still here with us. Normand Gionnet. Thank you. Just so that I can understand really the structure, is it an independent committee and non-profit, and we are lending you Gabrielle, or is it? Yeah. Okay. That's the structure of the committee. Thank you, Madame Dallaire. Mr. Paul Beliveau. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. My question refers to your idea of the multifunctional center. Have you started discussions with other groups in the municipality that could be interested and who might want to also use the multifunctional center? At this point, we haven't had formal discussions, but let's say that there would probably be other groups or clubs who are presently in the municipality who probably would want to use dedicated space for seniors, but at this time, like we mentioned, within the next few months, we're going to go see a couple of organizations, maybe the seniors clubs and the representatives, to see what they would want to have. And I'm sure that we won't have any problems finding people interested in this project. My question was maybe more on the multifunctional centers, but that would address the needs of other groups, not just the seniors. Maybe it's something that could become the subject of discussion with other groups in the city of Dieppe, other organizations, or other possibilities of use. So you're telling me that you're setting up, you're getting an idea of your needs, and then you'll go see other organizations. Also in 2016, our important project would be to organize groups of interest who could use the multifunctional center. Thank you, Monsieur Beliveau. Mr. Godet. Thank you for your presentation. In the text, I noticed, and I don't know if there's confusion or maybe something that is incomplete between the Rotary Pavilion and the Parc Saint-Anselme. So if we're talking about the Parc Saint-Anselme or the Parc Rotary Saint-Anselme, I think that should be clarified. It should be called by its name in order not to mix it up with others. Well, let's say that the buildings in the Rotary Saint-Anselme Park are used equally, and the facilities around the park are used when there are walking clubs, for example. So that whole area basically is used quite extensively by the citizens of the municipality. Well, basically I want it to be called by its proper name. Thank you, Monsieur Godet. Are there any other questions from members of council? If not, I thank you for your presentation, and also for the time that you put in to this for the seniors of Dieppe. It's muchly appreciated by the seniors of Dieppe, and I know I hear about it, and I hear that you are well organized. So thank you and have a good evening. The next presentation is from Moncton Head Start. I don't know if the representatives of Head Start are here. Hi, I'm Andrew Friel. I'm with Head Start. I'm on the board. I'm with Mary Donalds, who is the director of Head Start, and Mark Lapointe. We're here tonight to explain, Head Start is really basically for the Moncton, Riverview, Dieppe region. A little boost, not a donation. The basic programs offer solutions that are internationally renowned to help children and parents who are neglected. The program, High Scope, is for 44 children a year. And we have a program for parents. Basically, there are 37s are present with the 44 children. Basically, it's 37 families. So the 44 children with High Scope, there are 5 from Moncton, 5 from Dieppe, and 5 families from Dieppe. Cuisine Mapleton Kitchen, they show people how to prepare food, good food. And then Future Horizons, this is an organization that houses basically 12 families. It's Duplex is one of them, which is in Dieppe. High Scope is a program that was created in the States in the 60s in Michigan. And it's a program that basically follows the children from 2 to 5 years old. It's not a daycare, really. They teach children, they show things that are basic to the program. So all the educators are certified. They have High Scope certification, and they have to be recertified every 2 years. So this is for the program High Scope. This is a study that, an independent study that shows that for each invested dollar, the public, the society, basically saves $13 in the future. Another thing that we have is the program for parents. Head Start realized that the children programs can basically to change a child's life, you have to change the parents' lives. That's why we have the program for the 37 families, the parents. They have to be part of the program, and they have to show a real will to change. So we have house visits. Sometimes we have visits at Head Start, parent groups, one-on-ones. Parents come into the classrooms of the children twice a month. We work on management, on crisis management, and also we have skills upgrading. Cuisine Mapleton Kitchen is a program that shows how to eat well, how to prepare food properly. And there are innovative recipes, simple recipes to eat well. They call that the one pot meal, dinner in a pot. That's for a Cuisine Mapleton Kitchen. Housing, Future Horizons, those are these 10 houses, or basically 10 units, basically two duplexes. Their Head Start families are housed there. It's a duplex in the city of Moncton, and all this is paid by the provincial government. And these are families who are part of Head Start, who have graduated the Head Start program. Claudette Bradshaw said we wanted to get them out of the ghetto. A little help, a boost, not a donation. It's community programs. This is the program that everybody knows about. We have school supplies programs. Last year, it affected 700 children. And that's in District 1 and 2. Winter clothing, they call the program Coats for Kids. 500 people benefited from this program, and it's not just, it's basically clothing for the winter. Christmas toys, Toyland, we had 1,500 children received little gifts so that the children come in. We give them basically $25 worth, and they can pick up 3 toys per children. And that touched 1,500 children. Produce, fruits, vegetables, fresh for less. That's a program that touches 350 families. They pay $15 a month, and they receive a basket of fresh fruit and the vegetables that's worth approximately $40. Okay, people have to qualify for this program. Dental care, Tooth Fairy, that's a partnership with the dentists of the Greater Moncton area, where they give free service. And if you don't have insurance, you can participate in this program if you qualify. Another thing is a training center that's called Open Doors. Approximately 8 adults in the morning, 8 in the afternoon. It covers a program of 33 weeks, and they can obtain their GED. We have the bursaries, Lorne Preston. It's for $750. There were 85 bursaries for post-secondary. And you have to graduate from Head Start in order to have access to this bursary programs, and that means that 85 people have followed the Head Start program and who were able to go to secondary school or post-secondary school. Why is Head Start requesting these funds? You can see in 2013 the New-Brunswick funds were $800,000, and this year it's $500,000. So the revenues have been reduced by $300,000, and the expenses basically haven't changed that much. But the new norms of the province requires that all the children who start in Head Start have to be referred by the provincial government, in other words, the the Department of Education, and their needs have changed. All of them who come in basically have medium to high needs. That is a requirement. In other words, they're not low risk, but they have to be medium and high risk, at medium and high risk. Another thing, it's very hard to control the costs. In 2013, when we saw that there were $300,000 that were going to be, we would be missing $300,000. We started working from inside the program to cut the costs. What we're looking at to improve the situation is that a third step is to use the funds of the federation, of the foundation, and if we continue this way, we're going to be able to continue for 3 years. In 3 years, the funds of the foundation will be gone. Our fourth and fifth step is basically why we're here today, is looking for help, basically. And we have to negotiate with the government. So we're launching a campaign where we're asking for $150,000. We need to raise that. $150,000 more this year. And it's something that we have to continue every year just to cover the costs. So we're asking the city of Dieppe a grant of 10% of the total of $150,000 that we want to raise, which is basically $15,000. 10% of the total of the extra that we need to raise for this year. Are there any questions from members of council? Do you have questions? Conseiller Béliveau. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The number of are you getting more and more clients? In other words, families and children who are coming to Head Start. Is that figure increasing every year? Maximum amount of children we can have is 44. That's the program. High scope. That the maximum amount of children that we can have is 44. Well, we could have more, but we need more funds. We started with 27 in the 80s, and now it's 44. How long is the child going to stay in the program? For 3 years. You start at 2 years old, and you finish at 5 years old. So you always have 44 children, and you can't increase the amount because you don't have the resources. Would there be a demand for these services? Yes. Thank you, Monsieur Béliveau. Councillor Godet. Thank you for your presentation. If I understand, this program is one of the elements of Head Start. There are other things that Head Start does. It's the 44 children. You work with the families. We have offer services to prepare food, the teaching kitchen, and Future Horizons, that's the 10 living units. For Future Horizons, it's a clientele from Head Start, but it's people who come in, they pay rent, but it's based on their capacity. So sometimes it's just $500. You move in and you pay $500. It's while the people wait for, or while they finish their university. So basically it's short term. That's the idea. And in Dieppe's case, how many people from Dieppe are involved in this program? Today, there are 5 children, 5 families with 1 child each. That's today. That can change. That's today. It depends. And they have been referred by the Department of Education, yes. Social development. Not the Department of Education. Department of Social Development. Councillor Dallaire. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I wanted to start by thanking you for the work that you do in the community. It's an essential type of work for the community. It serves a clientele that otherwise would not have any services, so I thank you for that. My question is similar to Councillor Godet's. If, for example, the municipality were to give you $15,000 annually, because I figure it's something that would be an annual request on your part, that's it? Yeah, that could happen. If the municipality would consider this, would there be a way of ensuring, right now you have approximately 10% of your clientele, high scope, that is residents of Dieppe, but would there be a way to ensure it continuously, it would be there continuously for the families, to make sure that this amount would be to help citizens of the municipality? Well, the average amount was 15%, actually. So I figure that with a grant, there would be reports on the work concerning the clientele that would be served. Well, the only thing is that it's confidential. No, like today, not necessarily the names, but a kind of an overview. Okay, yes. Thank you. Any other question? So if not, I thank you for your presentation. And we will consider your request. Thank you very much. So the next presentation is the Commerce Games for 2070. Mr. Stéphane Leblanc and Joanne Viennot for the presentation. So good evening. Good evening. Joanne Viennot, I'm the chair of the organizing committee of the games, which will take place from the 6th of 8th of January 2017. In 29 years of existence, it's going to be the first time that it's going to take place in our region, so we're really happy that this is going to happen. We've been working already for a year on it. We have a committee of 14 students of the University of Moncton and former students. And tonight we're here to present you this project because there are 1,300 students of 13 different universities who are going to be coming to the region. So all eyes and ears are going to be here. The competition is concerns 3 aspects: the sports, the academic, and the social aspect. The sports, basically the sports activity, 2 sports. Social activity, there's impro, there's crisis management, And the academic aspect is the resolution of business solutions to business problems, and it's the students who find the resolutions in different logistics, marketing, international management, strategy, accounting, human resources, and there's a debate, an oratory debate. The University of Moncton participates every year, but as I mentioned, it's the first time in 29 years that it comes in this region. So we're really happy about this. There are 13 universities, basically universities from the province of Quebec, University of Moncton, from Ottawa also, who are participating in the competition. It's during a weekend from Friday to Sunday. Friday, the universities arrive. There's the opening ceremonies. It's outside. Usually there are 2 days of competitions, Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday night, there's the closing gala with the 1,300 people, with the business partners from the region who participate for the award ceremony. To give you an idea, the Commerce Games today, they happen across Canada, but this is the Commerce Games East. There are now something for the center now, and also there's also Commerce Games West in the western part of Canada. So it's really a pretty big organization on a yearly basis. On the east, we're part of, it's the biggest competition inter-university in the eastern part of Canada. So like Joanne said, approximately 1,200 participants, 250 volunteers, numerous partners, business partners across Canada. And they all come in one region to compete, to get to know one another, to network, etc. So we see here, we gather the leaders of the business community. If we look at last year, certain sponsors, basically a lot of businesses from Quebec, but they all have kind of associates in Moncton. We're going to involve different businesses in Moncton, Dieppe, Riverview, and surrounding area to this, so that it's a little more local, and to also show the nice businesses that we have in the region who can keep or to work with on different levels. And these people know very well the competition. So our budget, I see, is $400,000. It's really $600,000. So it's a lot to bring all these people in one area. So most of the revenues come from the different partners, business partners, governments, etc., as well as registration of the participants. So we're really interested in having the City of Dieppe participate. We want to show this big region. The University of Moncton is in Moncton, but it's not the City of Moncton who is holding it. It's the people of Dieppe, Memramcook, basically go to the University of Moncton. So we're trying to show that it's a broader area than just Moncton, and we'd be interested in having part of the events take place in Dieppe. Like we said, there's the opening ceremonies, there's the closing ceremonies, there are different opportunities. So we'd be interested in trying to find a way to put the accent on Dieppe. As basically the Commerce Games are bilingual, but mostly francophone, so Dieppe being francophone. So we're here to present the project, something that is not very well known. We discussed with different participants of the ones that occurred in Quebec, and some never came to the Maritime or the Atlantic region or in Moncton, so they're really excited to see what kind of resources we have around here. And like Stefan mentioned, it's a pretty big budget, it's a pretty big project, but we intend to showcase basically Dieppe, Moncton, and the general area to the Quebecois population. Thank you for the presentation. Are there any questions around the table? No questions? Oh, I hadn't seen it. Sorry. Conseiller Godet, thank you. It's an ambitious project for sure. It's validating for the participants. Certainly a unique experience. And also enlightening for the organizers. It's something to having dared to invite people from the outside to give them the opportunity to open their horizons to what goes on in the eastern part of Canada. But I'm not sure if I understood properly. Are you asking for a specific amount, or are you just suggesting that we may sponsor some activities or registrations, or? We didn't come here to ask for a specific amount. We just came here to present the project. Obviously, any type of contribution in services or sponsoring an activity or sponsoring registrations or even as a financial partnership. We'll accept any type of partnership, but we don't have any specific amount. We didn't come here to ask a specific amount. So you will pardon our professional habits, but when we receive presentations, usually there's a certain amount of money that is attached to it, and that is usually relatively precise. So I would probably encourage you to, maybe in the steps that you're going to be taking, to have maybe something more specific to suggest. Have you already come up with a specific registration fee? Yes. Usually it's has to be voted by the participating universities. So we usually meet at the group. There are 4 groups in our term. Our first group meeting is on the 23rd. This is when we're going to decide on the registration fee. Right now it's $200, but we're trying to increase it to 200 to 225. So it's going to be somewhere between 200 and 225. Well, okay, thank you and good luck. Is this going to be open to the public, or is it just closed? Obviously, we're going to try to have activities and events that are going to be open to the public because it's never been here. So it's something that's relatively unknown. So as we mentioned, we try to have there. Usually there's a parade that involves all the universities. We're in the process of establishing the logistical aspect where we could hold the parade, and that would be open to the public so that the public could see the different universities, and also the opening ceremony is too. Well, I'm sure that the people of Dieppe would be very interested in seeing things. Although the competition, the sports tournament, all these things, a lot of things are going to be open to the public during the weekend, the competitions and all that. Thank you, Monsieur Godette. Councillor Cormier. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. My questions were answered. Thank you. So, if there are no more questions, I want to thank you for your presentation. And since you're not asking for a specific amount, we'll think, or a specific sponsorship, I believe that as you move forward in your decisions concerning the budget for activities, maybe you might be able to put in a request that would be more specific, or if we host one of your activities, basically, we're pretty open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Leisure Services to contact you to see if there's an opportunity, maybe that could be very good for the city of Dieppe, and we'll have a follow-up with the both of you then as spokespersons for the group. Thank you, Mr. Melanson. So thank you and have a good evening. So that ends our discussions and our presentations for tonight's meeting. So now we go to the other side. Maybe if there are updates necessary. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was going to forget that. So the Accessibility Advisory Committees, Mr. Bellevaux, and he's not here. He had to leave, so I'll ask him next time. Advisory Committee on Equal Opportunity between between women and men. Not very many new things. We have a meeting that's going to take place next week. Last week, our last meetings had to be cancelled for different reasons, sometimes through lack of quorum, others reasons beyond our control. We are still looking for members. I believe that we've found somebody who might be interested, a woman who might be interested in sitting in the committee, and now we're missing one man because we want to have parity between the two groups. So if you know of somebody who might be interested in joining the committee, please let me know. Madame Dallaire. Did I forget anything? Just to add, at our last meeting, we presented the report on wage equity to the members of the committee, and the report was well received by the members of the committee. And we thank the municipality for the work that was done on that file. The question was raised also concerning the fact that there were few municipalities who did this type of exercise, and it was thought maybe that we could communicate this message maybe a little more widely, and in order to reap the benefits of, or receive the credit for this type of activity. There was also one item that we wanted to work on, is to encourage more women to run in municipal elections. And I think that next week there's a press conference of the Francophone Association of Municipalities of New-Brunswick to present their project. So we will be collaborating with them. Now, Monsieur Godet, yes. On candidacy for different committees, there's a note that was circulated a couple of weeks ago that was requesting suggestions for candidacy to nominations. I think that two might be interested, but what we're missing is information on the three committees that were mentioned. So maybe I should address my requests for information to the city manager. The first question was, it is a project for Dieppe or is it a regional project? I think that in the three cases it was for Dieppe. If I remember properly, yes. But there should be a description or a more clear idea of the tasks, the calendar for the meetings also. And I also assume that there has to be a form filled out, etc. Yeah, you can come to my office and we'll try to disseminate the pertinent information. In one of the cases, it was a representative for the Capitol Theatre, and that it was the representative of the city of Dieppe who was chosen. And the one I'm talking about, no, it was on the Urban Planning Committee. Yeah, we can give you the details. Now we go to the Environment Advisory Committee. No, sorry, Mr. Brideau. Yeah, Deputy Mayor, I was going to make a comment on the advisory committees. During the 2015, we had many problems. It didn't work at all. presence. We weren't able to have a quorum very often, and then with the absence of the mayor, that didn't help either. So I mentioned it briefly with the mayor just before the holidays, and we're going to work at something with Mr. Luc Richard to try to basically rebuild and start things afresh. It would be good, especially before the end of our term, to put these committees back to work. So I'll be trying to give you a report as soon as we have something positive to give you. Thank you. And now the Advisory Committee on La Francophonie, Madame Dallaire. Thank you. We held a meeting recently at which there was a PowerPoint presentation on the result of the survey that was done with the organizations of the municipality. And one of the questions that was asked was about the use of French among different organizations of the municipality. There was an interesting conversation following the presentation, especially concerning youth organizations and more specifically sports organizations and the use of the French language, not necessarily in the organizing committees or the boards of administration, but specifically with the teams and the use of teams at that level. And we ended up the discussion with a recommendation that we will present to Council for its consideration. The resolution is as this: the Advisory Committee on La Francophonie recommends to include a language clause during the review of the accreditation policy of organizations, and this in consultation with the committee. And the idea is that we could give some training to the communities sector on the use of the French language, to maybe offer resources, and also to see if there's a possibility of joining to the accreditation language aspect. I don't know how, but it's something that the committee is going to be recommending for consideration. And another one recommendation, a future recommendation that's coming up to Council based on the meeting that we held last week, was that the language policy of the municipality is being reviewed in the next couple of months, and the committee would like to be involved in this process. And there will be recommendations on that subject also. So that's my report. So thank you, Madame Dallaire. That being said, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn the meeting and we will meet on the other side.